I would suggest the IB program, or at least taking IB courses for a number of different reasons. One is the higher order thinking. Now you're still going to do that in any class here at NCHS, but we really focus on that with IB. Also, the skills. We're going to demand of you and teach you things that are going to be necessary, especially to survive at the university level and in college. It's less about the information and more about the skills that you learn and that you can carry with you for life. Being an IB instructor is, well, I guess it's exhilarating for one thing. I get to do so much more, with the students. We get to go deeper into subjects. The teacher itself, sure, there's more time involved. Got more papers to read, thicker books to look at, but by and large, it's almost like teaching in a university setting. The students are using college textbooks. The subjects we're touching on go beyond surface information, so it's a lot of fun.
They are exposed to challenges, deadlines. Then when they go to college, they are more than prepared for college. It's giving them a future, it's giving them the ability to prioritize. That's very important, extremely important for a student to be able to prioritize when they go on to school. And we give them real life situations. Most of us try to give them real life situations. I know that I have traveled with students and exposed them to the world. It's just, as they say, broadening their horizons. I wish every student would take at least one IB course. I love being an IB teacher because I am challenged and I love to see the kids succeed.
It gets the student ready for college. It gets a student ready for the actual content that they'll be facing. It will prepare the students for the speed at which they'll get the information and that they will have to process the information and be able to use it and modify it and give it back to the professor. But more importantly, it teaches them how to be critical thinkers. It encourages critical thinking. It encourages the student to reach further than they even thought was possible for themselves. So not only is it the scholarships and the entrances into universities, but it's the fact that they go off knowing that they are ready, knowing that they can do it, knowing that it's going to be difficult, but it's not undoable. I described the IB students as being a pack of wolves, and you better be the leader of the pack or else they're going to take you down and basically nominate another leader. Stop. We need to phrase our questions so that instead of the one person who had the courage to actually speak out, we don't want to beat up on her because then everyone's going to shut down and never open up again. Does everyone understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You need to phrase your questions. She chose her words very carefully when she was questioning you, and she could have jumped on you. So I want you to choose your words carefully. So instead of throwing up all her defenses, how do you get her to question her opinion? Do you see what I mean? So you can actually learn from each other rather than stop the whole conversation. Because realistically, that's where we are as a society right now, right? You believe exactly like me, and you're on the other side. And there is no common ground. Well, there's lots of common ground, but we're not willing to see it. They are kids who may or may not be the best and brightest, but they are the ones who are willing to work for it, and the ones who want it the most, who are very aggressively active in their own education. They want to learn, they want to do things, they're interested by it, and so they've taken on this challenge themselves. So as a teacher, you have to be ready to meet that challenge, no matter where they are. And if they have already surpassed where your expectations were with the course, then you keep going and you push them as far and as hard as you can so that they can get the most out of their education. There's a perception that it's only for the best and brightest students, for the Einsteins. Well, it's really not. It's for the student who's willing to learn. So if, for example, when I was a student in high school, I was fantastic at languages, terrible at math, I still would have been able to do the IB program because I'm able to average out my scores. So it's not for the student, it's not necessarily for the student who's brilliant all the way across the curriculum. It's for the student who's willing to work hard to get there. And for the student who might be very good at one thing, not so great at another, and be able to average things out. So it's really just based on, are you willing to work for it?
I think the IB program gives students a challenge and helps prepare them for college. The rigor of the courses and the content, the activities, discussion, research that we do really helps prepare students for the work ahead in college, and kind of simulates that experience for them, as well as gives them an opportunity to go much more in depth than they would be able to in a general social studies class.
IB is a very good program that prepares students for college. It makes them problem solvers. It's just not a matter of finding the right answer. They actually have to be creative and know. It's taken it to that higher level of learning. It's not just facts and having to do something. They have to take that stuff and evaluate, synthesize, and analyze things. And that's what we're constantly doing. It's a 2-year program. They walk out of here, they probably know as much as any first-year chemistry student out at the college, so maybe even sophomore. Most of those kids do get a first year worth of college credit, and they do really well. Most of these kids are looking at maybe majoring in science, and so they do need the background if they're going to compete in schools like Harvard, Yale. I mean, that's the minimum that they expect these kids to know. So if we're going to compete nationally, IB puts them on the same playing field. If we didn't have the program, they wouldn't be as skilled to go to college.
It is a very highly preparatory curriculum for colleges in that the type of students who take IB have agreed that they'll take many different subjects. They'll challenge themselves at a higher level in 3 of them. In 3 of them, they'll have some background in them. They prepare themselves to international standards, and universities know that the International Baccalaureate has these standards. And so the fact is they are very, very good at recognizing these students as the best and the hardest working. If not necessarily the brightest, but the hardest working, and for that reason they do very well in colleges, and so they're able to easily take on a college load and get their degrees without much extra help.
I enjoy being an IB teacher because I have a lot of fun. I see the growth of students. The program allows me to teach things that I normally in a public high school would not be able to teach. So our school within a school is really such a feather for Natrona County High School. Students get to read literature that they would not be able to read, would not be allowed to read, and it just lights their fire. And I love seeing that. It gives them an opportunity to excel in high school and have that recognized as they move on to college. The credits that they earn here, we've had students go as second semester sophomores with a full IB diploma to some very reputable schools, last year Harvard being one. It's just a wonderful program, and it does take a lot of work. The assessments, internal and external, for them and for the teacher are a lot of work, preparing them for that and also administering them, but it's so rewarding. If I had a child that was of that age, I would definitely want them in the IB program. It's just wonderful. I can't say enough good things about it.